Hi, I'm Sunni Marsden, and I am with the clinic here today with Jay Price, and we are going to discuss edibles education. We would like to discuss a little bit about absorption methods and dosage as well. So Jay, could you please tell us a little about why the effects of smoking or vaporizing cannabis are so different than consuming edibles?
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of confusion out there on this. There are drastically different effects, and I think a lot of people don't really understand why that's so different and how they can use different products to get different effects from them.
Sure, yeah.
First, let's talk about when you smoke or vaporize cannabis, what happens there. Basically, you have delta-9 THC, which is being decarboxylated as you burn it or vaporize it. That then enters your lungs and transmits through the tissue in your lungs directly to your bloodstream. It's very fast acting, but relatively short-lived, the effects from it. When we compare that with edibles, there's sort of two different routes with an edible that those cannabinoids are going to get into your bloodstream. The first one would be for products like tinctures, oral mucosal sprays. Sometimes there's lozenges that also do this, but they actually transmit the cannabinoids to your bloodstream through the soft tissues in your mouth. Most commonly, you'll hear this referred to as sublingual absorption, which would be that soft tissue under your tongue, which, inhaling it into your lungs, usually it's only a few seconds before you feel the effects of it. When you go through the oral mucosal tissue, it takes a little longer to absorb, and you're looking at maybe 15 to 20 minutes before those compounds hit your bloodstream. When you go the inhaled route, it's usually 2 to 3 hours of effect you would get from that. If you go the sublingual route, it's usually 3 to 5 hours effect you'd have from it. And if you go the digestive route, you can get 6 to 8 hours of effect from it. When you consume edibles and go through the digestive route, through your stomach, it definitely is a more complicated process of how those compounds get to your bloodstream. It can be several times more psychoactive. It can also is much more effective at passing the blood-brain barrier, so the realized effects from it are significantly amplified. Any sort of alcohol consumption with any of these cannabinoids will really increase your body's absorption of these, or the rate of absorption of these compounds. So that's definitely something to avoid. It's also a very good idea to not consume edibles on an empty stomach.
Okay, Jay, so a big question, that's obviously super common in our shops is the question about dosing for edibles. How much should I eat to get the desired effect?
There's not a really simple answer for that. Everybody's tolerance to these things are different. Everybody's metabolism is different. A general recommendation, both by the state and by most reputable organizations in this industry, would be to start at a dosage no higher than 10 milligrams of THC. See how that affects you. Wait at least 2.5 hours after you consume that 10 milligrams before you decide if you want to take more. It takes a little while to figure out what your tolerance is for these, and until you know that, err on the side of underdoing it.
Okay, Jay, well, thank you so much for being here with us today and educating us. This is very, very good. And now let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the vendors that we carry here at the clinic and the products that they offer us.